Compound interest is one of the most powerful forces in personal finance. It's the process of earning interest on both your initial investment and the interest that accumulates over time. This seemingly simple concept can lead to exponential growth, turning small, consistent investments into significant wealth. In this video, we will explore how compound interest works, why it's so effective, and practical strategies to harness its power to grow your money faster than you ever possible. Unlocking the magic: how compound interest can change your financial future. In 1980, John Smith, a young college graduate from California, had just started his first job at a tech company. He earned a modest salary of $30,000 per year, but his financial journey was about to take an unexpected turn. John, unlike many of his peers, understood the power of compound interest. His financial advisor explained the magic of reinvesting earnings over time. John decided to invest $200 every month in a low-cost index fund with an average annual return of 7%. By the time John turned 40 in 2000, his consistent investments had grown significantly. Thanks to compound interest, his modest contributions had blossomed into over $150,000. But it didn't stop there. By the time John retired at 65 in 2045, his investment had exploded to over $1.2 million, all due to the relentless power of compounding. John's story is a testament to how compound interest can transform even small, consistent contributions into significant wealth over time. By starting early and being patient, he unlocked the magic that many people overlook. The secret to explosive wealth growth: understanding compound interest. In 1995, Sarah Johnson, a recent college graduate from New York, was struggling to make ends meet on her entry-level salary. Despite facing challenges, Sarah had a mentor, Mr. William Davis, a seasoned investor who introduced her to the concept of compound interest. William explained that saving and investing a portion of her income regularly could lead to wealth accumulation without any need for active work. Sarah took his advice to heart and began investing $300 every month in a diversified portfolio that earned an average annual return of 6%. Initially, the growth was slow, and Sarah doubted her decisions. But by the time she turned 40 in 2015, her consistent investments had more than doubled. With the compounded returns, her savings grew to over $250,000. As Sarah approached 50 in 2025, her account had surpassed $700,000, an amount that would have been impossible to achieve without the power of compound interest. Sarah's story showcases how understanding and applying the magic of compound interest can result in explosive wealth growth, even with modest monthly contributions. Why compound interest is your best friend in building wealth. In 2005, David Miller, a young professional from Chicago, was hesitant to start investing. He was earning a decent salary, but he was unsure where to begin. One day, he met Laura Thompson, a financial planner who helped him understand the concept of compound interest and how it could work in his favor. Laura explained that investing early, even in small amounts, would give David the time needed for his money to grow exponentially. David decided to start small, contributing $400 each month to a mutual fund that averaged 8% returns annually. By the time he turned 35 in 2015, David was pleasantly surprised to see his investment had grown to over $75,000. As he continued to invest consistently, the compound interest worked its magic. By the time David reached 45 in 2025, his total savings had soared to nearly $300,000, all due to the power of compound interest. David's journey proves that starting early, being patient, and consistently contributing to investments can turn small efforts into significant wealth. Compound interest is indeed the best friend anyone can have when it comes to building long-term financial success. How small investments today lead to big returns tomorrow. In 2010, Emily Richards, a recent college graduate from Los Angeles, was determined to build a secure financial future despite having limited funds. She came across an article about the power of compound interest and realized that even small investments could lead to significant returns over time. Inspired, Emily decided to set aside $150 each month and invest it in a retirement account with a conservative 5% annual return. At first, her investment seemed insignificant, but over the next few years, Emily's confidence grew as she saw her money steadily increasing. By 2020, just 10 years later, her portfolio had grown to nearly $25,000. What amazed her most was how the money she invested earlier was now earning interest, which in turn earned more interest. By the time Emily reached 45 in 2035, her monthly contributions had led to over $150,000 in her account. Emily's story shows that even the smallest investments today can snowball into large sums over time. The magic of compound interest doesn't discriminate based on the size of the investment. It rewards those who start early and stay consistent. The power of reinvestment, how compound interest works for you. In 2012, Michael Clark, a marketing executive from Miami, had just received a bonus of $5,000. Rather than spending it, he decided to reinvest the money into his retirement savings. His financial advisor, Susan Adams, explained how reinvesting the returns from investments could accelerate his wealth-building journey. She showed him that even reinvesting small returns would lead to significantly higher future earnings. Michael followed her advice and placed the $5,000 into an index fund that earned an average of 7% annually. Over the years, the reinvested returns started to compound, causing his initial $5,000 to grow exponentially. By 2020, just 8 years later, his account balance had surpassed $50,000, largely thanks to reinvesting the interest in dividends. By the time Michael reached 50 in 2025, the compounded returns from reinvesting had turned his original contribution into over $250,000. Michael's success highlights how the power of reinvestment can make compound interest work even harder for you, turning your money into a powerful wealth-building tool. The longer you reinvest, the faster your wealth grows. Maximizing your earnings. Compound interest strategies you need to know. In 2008, James Walker, a software engineer from San Francisco, realized that to retire early, he needed a strategy to maximize his earnings. His current savings weren't growing as quickly as he'd hoped. After doing some research, James discovered that compound interest could significantly accelerate his wealth, but only if he took the right approach. He reached out to his financial advisor, Karen Lee, for guidance. Karen suggested James increase his monthly contributions and start investing in higher-yield assets with an average annual return of 9%. James decided to invest $500 each month into a diversified portfolio, rather than relying on a single investment. By 2018, just 10 years later, his account had grown to over $70,000. What surprised James most was how his earnings seemed to grow faster without him actively doing anything. His interest was earning interest. By the time he turned 45 in 2023, his portfolio was worth more than $300,000. James had learned that to truly maximize compound interest, consistency, diversification, and reinvestment were key. His story proves that the more strategic you are with your investments, the more you can unlock the full potential of compound interest. As we've seen through the stories of individuals like John, Sarah, and James, the power of compound interest is not just a financial concept, it's a game changer. Whether you're just starting out or looking to maximize your current investments, the key is consistency, patience, and a willingness to reinvest. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow. So remember, compound interest works best when you let it do its magic over time. Start investing today, stay patient, and watch your wealth grow faster than you ever imagined. Thank you for watching, and take the first step towards securing your financial future.